life of a people runs like a river, passing through turbulent rapids into broad, smooth reaches. The Bidayuh people of Borneo are now moving on calm waters, stemming from their belief that all persons and all forces of nature can live in universal harmony if the proper codes of conduct between them are observed. Alien influences are beginning to disturb the calm, but they're still only ripples on their river of time. The Bidayuh believe that everything in the world, human, animal, vegetable, mineral, the forces of nature, such as the wind, the rain, and the river, and invisible influences like sickness and good luck, have a soul, or characteristic force, which makes them what they are. The soul exists in each single object of a kind, and as one soul, infusing them all. As with a mother losing a child, the loss of any individual soul of the species hurts the parent soul. But the parent soul is greater than any of her children, and she can nourish them all with her vitality. The Bidayuh people build their houses together in the form of a long house, not only for physical safety, but also because of the soul strength they all gain from being part of a wider community. In frequent ritual activity, the people seek to influence the world of souls in their favor. Dangerous souls, like diseases, are bribed and threatened to keep away. Others, like the souls of the forest, which yield up their territory for crops, are given gifts and entertainment in compensation. And those, such as the souls of foods, on whom life depends, are not only feasted and fated, but carefully guarded. Amongst these, none is so precious as the soul of the rice. Since the time when a beautiful maiden, really the rice soul, created it for them, the Bidayuh have depended on rice, which they grow in fields cleared from the forest by axe, knife, and fire. As the rice is tended throughout the year, honors are paid to the forest and its spiritual overlord for their kindness to man in allowing the rice soul to blossom there for a year in place of the trees. For the rice to flourish, bringing forth plentiful and nourishing grain, the time and place of planting must be propitious. As the growing season approaches, an expert, near by his advanced age to the spirit world, and long in practical experience, goes with a priest to an area chosen for its soil fertility to search for signs that the supernatural world is in tune with the designs of men. The call of the saku bird, first on the left and then on the right, signifies that time and place are right for the bed of the rice soul to be prepared. With offerings of betel nut and tobacco, permission will be sought from the Great Spirit, Pulang Gana, who is emperor of all land and water, for the use of the land in the neighborhood. The souls of famous rice planters of the past will be called on for guidance. The souls of insects, disease, and anything else dangerous to the rice soul will be commanded to leave.
Nangan kamakurnya Pak turun tijami orang bong narantau warung sidat nang panci arunga meridu tije ti ku ngangen Pak nekam madakama nya mati pagi nunuk rantau miti ja bobo rantau miti akap ma ngebak zamannya cegya masih 4 ngare aku balik geti nebo nyisok pengawah kuti kena kembam dan ngaco mi Cegi ceku aku minta pagi ku 4 ngare mi geti lagi minta sekun tahu tayanya nak wajarat ni. Manuka.
To choke the calls of birds, which might sound bad omens while the rice is growing, the priest thrusts a dry leaf into the open beak.
Kap ma nyuke kap menglindung kap mengembos. Manuka luang rengak lo kacak lo ketep lo ngalep lo nganga loanga.
After a first small clearing to claim the land, it is left for 3 days to allow time for the souls of the countryside to accommodate to the new arrangements. On the 4th morning, the main clearing will begin. Nasser, the head of the household owning the field, has brought many people to help in the heavy work of clearing, promising to repay them all with a day's work on each of their fields. The longest task is clearing away the tangle of undergrowth on the forest floor. Although men may help also, much of this work is carried out by women. The women are skilled at removing the dense grass which may cover old clearings. The forest provides not only fields for rice cultivation, but also its own wild and delicious foods. While their parents work at clearing, Ling Ki and her friend gather paku fern. Maria collects sakas, another edible fern. The work ends in mid-afternoon because it is 90 minutes walk back to the village, or longer with the loads of firewood. Back in the village, when the undergrowth on all the new fields has been cleared, a great party is held for all the souls who have given ground for the rice soul or who have power to help or harm it. There are pigs for the great spirits and many smaller offerings for the others. Called by the gods, they approach along ceremonial bridges. Rase, the chief priest, welcomes the spiritual guests. Souls of our ancient customs, souls of our skilled forebears, guide us in our planting. Early in the morning, a man from each household has gone to its clearing to bring back a plant, to receive the thanks of the people on behalf of all the plants which are yielding up their territory to the rice soul. Drink, dance, and festival food welcome the plants, their carriers, and the invisible troop of wild jungle souls who have followed them back. Rase questions the men. Were the animal sounds propitious? Did the birds fly in the right directions? Their answers tell him that today is a wonderful day, with all the world in balance.
Yeah.
In return for the great party, the bad souls should forego evil against the souls of men and rice, and the good souls should redouble their efforts on their behalf. As conditions of the festival are fair and equal, contests may be staged to defeat the power of evil influences. A tribe of female spirits who cause sickness in male genitals are invited to feast at a bamboo basket and are then challenged to a cock-catching contest. Because the women drop the cock most in 7 throws, the souls of the bad female spirits are humbled. The basket is cut off and tipped over, destroying the female souls and freeing the men's souls they have trapped. Priestesses, seated on the back of a hornbill bird, swing away to a sacred mountain to fetch their special gods to bless the new territory of the rice soul. Before them are the gifts awaiting the gods. The marks on foreheads and cheeks are their passports to the divine mountain. At a great festival, the highest offerings should be human heads. The head-hunting party returns. When human heads cannot be taken, the fruit of the impidang tree is brought instead. The heads are received by the people of the village with gleeful respect, suiting their importance as carriers of the souls of other communities. Excitement surges as everyone seeks to enhance his or her soul strength, with the soul strength of outsiders captured with their heads. The rice soul must not be deceived, however, by fake honors. When the play is over, the false heads are chopped up. In the late afternoon, Rasse draws the festival to a close. Dancing with offerings of wine, fish and pork, he invokes the ancestral spirits to fill the small crossed tubes with growth medicine for the children. The growth medicine will be mixed with blood from the sacrificed pigs and chickens, which gives protection from harm, and the mixture used to anoint the children. O guardian spirit of children and souls of our forebears, let us dribble the holy necklace water, silver water, gold water, on the crowns of our children, to make them grow up healthy, vigorous, vital and strong, and very fertile at bringing forth daughters and sons. For 3 days, work in the countryside is prohibited. Then, the felling of the big trees begins. The smaller trees are partly cut, so they will be carried down with the big trees. As a notice of new ownership to the souls of the countryside, a skew cross is erected in the field. There is no more to be done in the fields until the cut growth has dried, so more time can be spent at home in the village. In August, the field is ready for burning. A warning is issued by Nassau. Beware of the fire, any wild souls still around. Gather up any washing you have hung out to dry. Take these gifts and go. Whistling up the wind to fan the flames, Jaragam sets the field alight. The trees were too big to allow the fire to clear the field properly. A work party gains some more planting space, but the field will not give its best yield until the next time it is used, 7 years hence. The rice seed has been carried to the field before dawn to avoid the bad omen calls of the birds. Vegetable seeds are mixed with the rice in the small baskets which the women sowers will carry. The men prepare their dibble sticks. The mixture of seeds is stirred to give a scattering of vegetables among the rice. The men stomp the holes and the women drop in the seeds. Thus, male and female human forces unite to create a new birth for the rice soul. This day is a birthday of the rice soul, so all the seeds should be planted in a festive atmosphere if the plants are to flourish, fertilized by the strength of human regard. If the planting cannot be finished on this first day, there must be a 4-day wait before it can begin again. So in order to get it all done, Nasser and his family have gathered together a big party, promising to pay each of them back by working on their planting in turn. When all the seed is in the ground, a tall splayed bamboo is erected to inspire the rice soul to produce great sprays drooping with grain. Now is the season for little girls to play knucklebones. The children tossing the stones encourages the child rice soul to produce many grain-bearing stalks. The rice is about to burst into flower. It is time for the second great festival of the year, when another big party is given for all the souls of the countryside to ensure their harmony with mankind and with the rice soul. The festival hall is built beside the river because this is the borderline between the home of the people and the domain of the wild country souls. It is a holiday for men and nature. For the 3 days of the festival and for 3 days afterwards, all work in the countryside is prohibited. Bamboo sticks are prepared for filling with glutinous rice, which will be roasted as a festival delicacy. Cooked cassava root is shaped into the form of honeycombs. The combs will be hung on a sapling in fun simulation of the giant tree in which the wild bees nest. 2 boats are built to float away the souls of diseases and misfortunes at the end of the festival. They will be told that Abang Ali, a clever Malay pilot, knows all the currents and shoals of the river, and so will carry them safely with their cargo of delicacies back to their families. But in fact, the boats are made to sink. Effigies, male and female guardian souls, tied in family union onto a fence which they will defend against all evil souls. One set is placed outside the door of their longhouse home, and the other in the sacred central part of their field to guard the rice soul. Early in the morning, everyone sets out to honor the rice souls in the fields. In each field, a party will be held for the rice, with wine and food and dance to cheer it and medicine to protect it. Every field will be visited before the day ends, and the rice souls will be led back by the drums and gongs to attend the larger celebration in the village. A taper is waved by Grandmother Luck as a beacon for the rice souls to come together in the center of the field to receive the homage of the people and join in the feasting and dancing. Grandmother Lubang commands the effigies to stand firm, defending the field like a mountain fortress against all threats to the rice soul. Grandmother Janten applies a cooling medicine of turmeric to the roots of the plants. Led by the priestess, who can sing in the language of souls, maidens, dressed like the rice soul when she first appeared long ago, dance in full flower around the rice, inducing it to burst forth into blossom. Towards evening, the parties return, bringing back with them rice souls from all the fields and all the other souls of the countryside to be their guests at the festival. Food and strong rice wine greet the arrival of the parties from the fields. The souls of grubs and insects which attack the rice are inveigled on board the boats to partake of the food there and are regaled with dancing. The soul of the white hen passed around the dancers can fly away souls of diseases to other places far away. In the festival hall, the celebration goes on all through the night. The villagers, their kinsfolk, their guests from outside, the friendly souls, and all the wild souls from the countryside joining in the great party. Continually, Rasse calls on the souls for their goodwill. Souls of our customs, souls of our forebears, gather round the many offerings, bringing cold weather medicine for the rice. Proffered food must not be refused, because the refusal may cause sickness to the giver. Although prosperity for the rice soul is the main purpose of the party, it is also used to increase other fruits of nature. The huge tapang trees in the jungle, the nesting places of wild bees, will yield more honey because of the honor given to them of a place at the festival, and the productive force their souls catch from the vitality of maidenhood, full of fun, climbing into their branches. Kinoi and her friends hit the branches with their sticks to scare away the bees so they can collect the combs of sweetened cassava and the honey of orange cordial. The sickness caught by men from bad women's spirits is snared in the sticky sap of a banana trunk. The men try to throw away the trunk while the women seek to stop them, tickling them and trying to drag them back. After 7 sways back and forth, the men toss the trunk into the river. To give strength to the soul of wild pigs to produce more for the hunt, a play hunt is staged, with the children acting as pigs. As they try to escape from the closing circle of hunters with their nets, the pigs are clubbed, bound, and carried away. Glee greets the captors, for no product of the hunt is more valued than the wild pig. So far does the wild pig outclass the village pig in flavor. In the hall, the prizes are triumphantly displayed. Sadi appeals to the soul of wild pigs and to their overlord, Pulangana, to reciprocate the honors being paid to them with success in future hunts. To show the high esteem in which they are held, the pigs are decorated with precious cloths and silver. Up on the longhouse, a procession of priestesses purges all the rooms. They drive out souls of sickness, bad luck, and all other malicious influences. each doorway, they collect provisions for the bad soul's journey downstream. Come down to the boats with us, you thieves of the souls of pigs, fish and fruit. You souls of our children's sickness, you gossiping souls. Lead your blind and carry your cripples. The feast is on the boats. The souls are herded aboard the boats. They are charmed with dancing as they eat their feast. Delicacies are given to the large effigies who will prevent any souls trying to leave the boats. In the late afternoon, the souls of sickness, bad luck, thievery, gossip, and all their mischievous band are sent on their cruise, destined soon to sink beneath the flood. A vine barrier is stretched across the landing stage. On the platform are offerings to the omen birds, so that they will, in return, sound only good fortune. For a span of 4 nights, the village is closed to all visitors. The spinning of tops now comes into season. Spun by the strong, growing boys, they will charm the souls of the flowering rice plants to form multitudes of large, rounded grains. When the rice is ripe for harvest, honors are paid to the rice soul to make the grain multiply.
Prabu, je, nak beli sek, lama-lama biras, no, Prabu nak kene, Prabu isa pegak, tok dak nak kene, Prabu, nyebutnya petana, peterus na, bukutok, pusambuk, pulang.
Enjoy the offerings. Make each spray of rice become one reaping basket for.
Isa pegak, tok dak nak kene, bak kene, bekati, bekawang dengan nak masya lemak sian nahupat.
4 days later, the main harvest begins. Unripened heads of grain will be left till later, but as much as possible should be gathered on this first festive day. To use a knife might affright the soul, causing the rice to lose nourishment as food and the seed to be infertile next year. So all the rice is plucked by hand. For months, the leaves of cucumber plants sown with the rice have been used as a vegetable. Now Nasa collects the last of the ripened fruit. The spectacle of a large harvest is a communion of joy between the rice soul and the people. On this main harvesting day, the normal carrying baskets are enlarged with mats to take 2 or 3 times their usual load. The rice is stopped to get in as much as possible. It is 4 miles back to the village. The enlarged baskets may weigh up to 150 pounds. It is a feat of strength for the young men to carry them so far. The girls, too, compete to show their strength, some carrying only slightly lighter baskets. Coming off the bridge near the village, Gintan slips. The spilling of the rice risks loss of its soul or weakening it. All that can be found should be picked up, and at the New Year festival, offerings should be made to call back the souls of grains lost. When they arrive in the village with their loads, the task of the reapers is not over. After refreshment provided by the field's owner, the threshing begins on the longhouse veranda. Supporting one another, or holding on to a rattan vine, the men do all the threshing with their feet, because to separate the grain by beating the rice would be to shock and offend the rice soul. The harvest is large, but the threshing of it should all be finished before the workers rest. To let some of the harvest lie neglected till another day would be an offense to the rice soul. So the work goes on almost till dawn. The women tease off the few grains not separated by the feet. The rice is sieved to clear it of broken pieces of stalk, building up a great pile of grain which will nourish the household and provide for its festivals throughout the coming year. To show appreciation to the rice soul of the nutritive delights it provides, a special breakfast is held shortly after the harvest. For this breakfast, Issa and her friends husk the first of the new rice. Before the breakfast, the first of the cooked rice is given to Pelangana, the lord of the land, who lives as a dragon beneath the river. The landing and bathing place is fed with some of the rice to nourish its soul, so that it can give safety to all who land or bathe there. The wine is very strong. No one may refuse it, nor the rice for whose soul the celebration is, nor the whole salt fish, which on ceremonial occasions must go with the rice. A handsome prince pursued the rice soul when she first came as a beautiful maiden to the Bidayuh. When she changed into rice form to escape him, he jumped into a water jar and changed into a fish. The people cooked them both, and when the prince met the rice soul in their stomachs, he exclaimed, "Now I have you as my wife forever." The breakfast is a wedding anniversary for the rice soul, celebrated within the bodies of all the men, women, and children. Before being taken to its main home, the new rice is dried in a small store near the family house. On this bright morning, Dada opens it to the sun. She rakes over the rice, turning new grains to the sun. When it is time to move the rice, it is poured from the store to winnow away any loose husks. In a replica of the human community, the main rice stores are in a grouping of their own, just outside the village and nearer to the countryside, where the rice souls can enjoy the company of their own kind. Each store is a private home for the rice souls. Once the rice has been installed, the store should be entered respectfully only by the household head, or one person appointed by him. When the rice is all in the big bark bins, Grandfather Magoon perfumes it with shredded lemon leaves. Be of good cheer, rice souls in my store. Stay happily here forever. At birth, each person has made for him a decorated box as a resting place for his soul, which is hung above the family bed. The box is a miniature of that in which the boy hero Siba Ok who visited the stars to learn correct customs from the Pleiades constellation, was let down from the sky. The box is decorated with articles which, according to its sex, the child will use throughout its life. For the New Year festival, the soul boxes are taken down to receive back into their safety the souls of the family from the distant fields where they have farmed throughout the year, but which are now being given back to the jungle. Beneath the soul boxes, now hanging in honor on the long house veranda, the family are gathered with all their friends. With a taper to light their way, Grandmother Gintoy calls on all good souls lost or dallying in the countryside to come home. The rice souls to the rice store, and those of the family to their boxes. Many festival dishes await the souls. Dunar, the head of this household, has been feeling sick, and Grandmother Gintoy has seen that a soul has strayed from his body, leaving an opening for sickness to enter. So that his soul may be restored, she drags the sickness into a bowl. My hands are suffused with magnetic gold given to me by the goddess on the mystical mountain. The sickness appears as a fine white powder. Grandmother Lubong dances with the rice soul contained in the dish of rice and with a representative of its vegetable companions, and presents them with the offerings laid out before her. Throughout the festival, a bud of the betel nut palm has lain amongst the offerings to record the response of the spirit world. Grandmother Gintoy opens it. The flower comes away freely from the bud case, and the stems stretch out neatly separated from one another, betokening an untroubled future for the household. As a notice to harmful spirits who may come by of the renewed strength of the household, she hangs the flower at the front of the house, warning them not to be so foolish as to try to intrude. The sound of the snail shells is, to the souls, like the call of a mother to her children. Grandmother Gintoy makes her last call. Return to your beds and blankets. Return to your nests. Out in the field, where they have farmed throughout the year, the wife of Naso gives thanks to Pulanganar and the souls of the countryside for the use of the land. She pulls up the spiritual guardians, ending their claim. As she splits the bamboo upright of the cross, Nasser pulls up the magical plants he grows each year in the center of his field to dry their leaves for medicine. At the first toss, the pieces land facing in the same direction, pointing to good fortune in the planting next year. As they move out of the field, she makes the final call. The field is no longer ours. Come back with me, soul of my husband, souls of my children. Come home now. Come away from the thunderstorms. With the souls of all the people safely back home, now comes the last gathering in of the rice souls to ensure the nutritious quality of the stored grain and infuse fertility into the seed for next season. At the junction of the tracks into the village, the dancers draw in the last of the souls left in the countryside. All are called to the procession. Mother of the weak grain, mother of the grain lost when spilled, collect all your children. Come back in a swarm, humming like bees. The snail shells sound their unique appeal. On the veranda, the rice souls and the souls of their vegetable companions are received with wine and festival food. The souls nest in baskets of seed for the next season's planting. The great reunion party of souls of rice and people can now begin. Rice souls stay happily in your homes, sleeping well and taking cooling baths. There are offerings as well to all the other souls whose goodwill is sought. For Pulangana, there is a pig 8 measures in length. From the wild domains of nature, the souls of all the people and their greatest friend, the rice soul, have now safely returned to rest securely in their homes. All the universe is now in balance, everything joyfully in its rightful place.